Old Fashioned Football on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code OFFSUPN to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sports book available in 45 states. Download Rebet in your app store and use promo code SUPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football in the NFL with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hey, what's up? This is Sam Acho, and you're listening to Old Fashioned Football.
Old Fashioned Football.
Make this deal right now, you pancake eating mother.
All right, deal.
Old Fashioned Football.
Welcome to Old Fashioned Football. If you're wondering who you listen to, this is J Mark. You can find me on the X at JMark Football. And if you're wondering who us is, that's at Old Fashioned FB. Before I keep going to recap Week 15, talk a little Week 16, and give out some bets, I got to bring in my co-host on the pod and in life. You can find her on the X at the Mark. How you doing today?
Doing good.
You laughed at me a little bit before. Was there a reason you laughed right before we went live?
I was laughing because I thought you were laughing at what I was looking at.
Oh, no, I was not.
I didn't even talk about what I was looking at over here.
I was laughing because I was singing the guitar part to the intro there, and I thought how funny it would be if we weren't muted and everybody was just hearing me.
No, but
sing it.
Speaking of that, Dateline almost made a debut when you started going live.
Oh boy, you about hit play on the old Dateline.
I opened up my phone and Dateline was playing.
This is my life. I hear Dateline 24/7. It feels like. Shout out to the chat. Josiah saying, "Yo, how's it going, Josiah?
Hello.
Thanks for joining us as always." And then the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Make sure you check them out. Rod and Cody do an excellent job.
They sure do.
I'm going to bet this one's Cody. He says my favorites. You were rooting for your favorite fan between the Army and Navy game.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them thanked you, but Navy did win. And Cody also saying better than night, Aaron Jones over rush plus receiving. I like that a lot because we are not good at stopping the run. I'll say it. Even though we're going to win this game. Let's fucking go.
We're going to win, and Cole Kmet is going to have a huge game to save me in playoffs.
Playoffs? You want to talk about the playoffs?
Yes.
Well, Geno Smith couldn't save me in one of the leagues. I should have gone with Cody's boy, Drake May, because then I would have won. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Geno Smith got a leg injury, which we'll get into all that.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to the parentals. We are ready. Let's go. Yeah, my mother in the family league is kicking my ass.
Oh.
Yes, and I don't know what happened. You know me. I'm very good at setting lineups. I'm usually very on top of it, right? And I'm a
You left somebody in who is out.
Well, no. I'm a tweaker. I tweak lineups so I'm looking at them all the time. Yeah, I'm a fantasy football
where's
lineup
this going?
tweaker. I somehow rolled it. I mean, it's not the playoffs. I rolled into the loser bracket with Nico Collins and Brian Thomas on my bench. I forgot to put them back into my starting lineup after the bye. Not sure what I was doing there. So I'm not saying I would have beat my mother. You just got done
talking
anyways.
about how competitive you remain, even if you're in the loser brackets and you leave.
Shh. We won't talk about that.
I don't know. Are you? I know this doesn't even count, but that kind of seems like a weaselly move.
How so? It doesn't
to boost your mom's record.
I don't think so. I don't think it is. In the league that I was alluding to where Geno Smith did not help me out. Well, actually, we'll talk about that on Duds. We'll talk about it on Duds.
Talk about it.
Hopefully you did win your first playoff match. I know in the leagues that I had a bye, I definitely won. I did not take a loss because I played nobody. If not, don't worry. We still got a lot of content coming. What?
See you because I played nobody in my bye. Okay.
I had 2 of them, maybe 3. Anyways, we still got plenty planned for you in the next coming episodes. We got fun drink recipes for the holidays if you want to try them. Now, if you don't, That's okay. You can always try something new from our unofficial sponsor, Liquid Death, which I got mine right here. We're also going to have best bets, recap everything. We do have a little bit of waivers, but like last week, it's just kind of quick hits.
Waivers are so difficult right now. And I mean,
We're
half of you don't care about them. And
yeah,
if you're in the playoff,
if you're in the semifinals and you don't have a backup option, that's kind of on you. No offense. I'm just saying.
We're not giving you waivers. You're on your own.
No, we'll give what's there, but there's not a lot to pick up. I mean, I lost David Montgomery. It's not because they have Jahmyr Gibbs. It's not like somebody is going to replace David Montgomery's points, right? But I have Brian Robinson on the bench in that league. So it's okay. I'm okay because I planned ahead. That's what you got to do, people.
All right.
Yeah. We're going to be Whiskey Wednesday. We're coming to you for Whiskey Wednesday. We're making 5 winter cocktails with whiskey.
5. I had thought about, you threw a 5th one in there?
Yes, I've got all 5 of them ready.
No, I have some ready.
Okay, we'll have to collaborate on that.
We're going to have, didn't talk to me about it, about your 5. I was picking out we are just not on the same page.
We'll figure it out. But speaking of whiskey, what are we drinking today?
Nothing. We just talked about this.
That's not true. I'm drinking Liquid Death.
Okay, Justin, you're drinking Liquid Death, hoping to become
hoping they become a sponsor. Yeah,
by Liquid Death.
However, we said we were going to be doing Whiskey Wednesday. We're still going to answer start set questions. So if you got those, show up, join in. Otherwise, just join in the fun. Tua is trying to throw Josiah's playoffs. I'm going to mention that in the duds too. I got a question for you. Nick Fortune says, question for the Pirate League that you host. Are we still stealing players?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You can
steal
steal whether you're in the playoffs or not. If you win, you steal. So, yeah, absolutely.
It's not Pirate League till the playoffs. It's Pirate League.
The whole time.
Yes.
Before I keep going, I just want to tell you, go download the SGPN app. It's completely free, and you're going to have easy access to all our shows, all of SGPN's shows, all the picks on the picks pages. You can find NASCAR Gambling Podcast picks in there. You can find Cody and Rod's individually. You can find mine. That's the ones you want. I know. And it's free wherever you get your apps. So just go to the App Store and go get those for free. Because why not?
Yeah. Should we talk a little bit of injury report here?
Let's talk a little bit of injury. I'm going to let you cover most of them if you don't mind.
Sure.
There is one I specifically mentioned to you beforehand. Don't talk about that guy because I want to. So,
well, shit, that went in one ear, not the other.
Well, if you start to talk about him, I'll interject. Okay. How about that?
Yes.
Much like everything I say.
No.
Is that what you're getting ready to say?
What? Much like everything? No, it's a crazy time of year. It was a really hectic day at work. I have a million things running through my head right now. And while I like to think I'm a good listener, sometimes I've found you say things and I'm not paying attention.
A million. You understand this number?
Injuries.
Yeah.
I'm going to start at the top here. Patrick Mahomes. He has an ankle injury. He's week to week. I expect he'll miss at least one game out of this. Geno Smith. He has, it's confirmed, no breaks. And his knee is intact, but still he might miss at least a week.
Always good news when your knee is intact.
It is.
Go on.
Cracking the Liquid Death, or that was loud, Justin. Nick Chubb broke his foot. He's out for the season. He had a rough season back from, his total knee blowout.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder what's next for him.
Yeah, for sure.
And then was this today already that this one was reported? David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Okay. This feels like it was a long time ago. This is how my day has gone. He had an MCL injury and it's going to require surgery. They did announce he's out for the season.
Tough blow.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Lions and the Bills, and the Bills beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about how the Bucks beat them, and they do have good wins over the Packers and the Vikings. But besides Packers and Vikings, Lions really haven't played anybody with a strong record. And so I just wonder if you're going to see them maybe fall apart in the playoffs. Maybe. Okay. We'll see. Go ahead.
There's more. Alvin Kamara.
Nope, that's who I'm going to talk about.
Okay, you're talking about Alvin Kamara.
Yes, he may miss time. They're waiting to see how it goes. But so the injury is a groin adductor. Excuse me.
You would want to talk about Alvin Kamara's groin.
Well, so And go to Twitter and check out go to JMark Football. I asked a question to the DGen doc, and he explained the groin adductor very well. However, the ESPN Saints reporter reported it as him dealing with a groin abductor, and I had no idea you were around Alvin Kamara.
Oh my gosh, Justin.
Sorry, I couldn't. It's a groin abductor. So you got to watch out for those groin abductors. I couldn't help myself. That's why I had to save that one for me. I have the mind of I guess a fraternity guy still, and it made me laugh that this lady that reports on the Saints reported that he was dealing with a groin abductor. Somebody abducted
She was
it.
thinking about
Maybe she was abducting his groin. I bet that was it. One other update: Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a former first-round running back for the Chiefs, was released, and it honestly would not surprise me to see him land on somewhere like the Lions, who just lost David Montgomery. Just a thought. I don't know. That's what I think is going to happen. Ryan checking in for the start sit, saying Achane or Mixon for week 16. Both are excellent options, but it is so hard for me to fade Achane right now. I mean, he has just been on fire in the run game, in the pass game. He's catching a lot of stuff. And Mixon's really good too, but I think you might have to go with Achane if you have to pick one of them.
Yeah. I don't want to agree with you.
Now, to be fair, we haven't we prepped for our start sit show. Usually Thursdays, it'll be Wednesday, so I haven't really broken down the matchups too much, but just gut feeling right now, that's kind of who I'm thinking. I see you're pulling up the matchups.
He's got a really good matchup too
against San Fran, right? Yeah, so I'm thinking Achane. I think especially if it's a PPR or half PPR league, because he gets more work in the passing game than Mixon does. Are you looking up Mixon, or do you want me to move forward?
Yeah, I can circle back, but I'm here.
Okay, let's see what you got.
And I mean, Mixon goes up against KC. It's a tough matchup for him. Yeah,
that is a tougher matchup.
I think
you go Achane.
I like the odds for Achane.
For sure. And Kathy's saying no, not Monty. Yeah, it is unfortunate. I mean, he plays with a lot of heart.
And I'm just like this. We're not supposed to root for the Lions, but it's been.
No, you're not.
We're not. I'm not going to lie that it hasn't been exciting to see how good this team has been playing.
Yeah.
And this is going to take a hit because he is such a big part of that offense.
He is. He's the reason that I kind of faded Jahmyr Gibbs. Little did I know that they were both going to be amazing. But Monty, I kept saying Monty's still a dude, and he is still a dude. And he plays with a lot of heart. I mean, that's Goff even said they were interviewing what's your favorite thing about Monty and Gibbs. And one of the things with Monty is just how much he leaves it on the field because he plays with so much heart. I don't know why the Bears ever got rid of him, but that's neither here nor there. Before we keep going, should we talk a little bit about Underdog Fantasy? I'd like you to tell the fine people about them, if you don't mind.
Of course. We are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all sports. Their lobby is jam-packed with profit boosts, and you can now use specials and boosts on all flex entries. We are going to give out our picks here pretty soon, so go sign up today with promo code OFFSGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code OFFSGPN.
And we're also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sports book available in 45 states. There are plenty of betting opportunities available on Rebet, and it's easy to use. It's great for people in states where traditional sports books may not be allowed. All you got to do is download Rebet in the App Store and use the promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. All right, we are back. And just for reference, if you've never used Underdog Fantasy and you're thinking about it and you heard Miranda say an instant pick'em special and you're like, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's worth it. It's usually like something like tonight, DeAndre Swift over half a yard, something that is almost guaranteed to hit that you can throw in your lineup to boost it a little bit. So I like to use, whenever we get those specials, I like to take that and just put it with just one other thing that I'm pretty sure will hit. You get 3-4 times your money. Bada bing, bada boom, right?
Yes.
That's how they say it in the mafia, I think. I don't know.
So when you're trying to be like, you're in the mafia?
Yeah, I mean, why not? We're talking sports gambling. I mean, that's got to be controlled by the mafia, doesn't it?
Sure, Justin.
should we talk a little studs and duds?
Let's do it. I've got the studs as per usual. At quarterback, I've got Jared Goff, the goof. He was projected 16.7. He finished with 41.06, throwing for 494 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Did somebody leave him on their bench in the family league?
The Lions have now lost a game that Goff threw 5 touchdowns, and they've won a game where Goff threw for 5 interceptions.
That's
just
crazy.
Want to throw that out there.
Yeah, that's crazy stat.
And I'm not listening to the jab there because we're just not going there.
All right, continue.
He helped me out in a different league. I had another quarterback option that I felt
You're still going to win that matchup.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
so
didn't
exactly.
matter, but
Okay, that running back. James Conner, he was projected 16.3, finished with 28.3 with 110 rushing yards, 28 receiving yards. Don't say anything. 5 catches and 2 touchdowns.
What was I going to say?
I thought you were gonna give me shit about. I don't actually think it was James Conner.
It was the other James Cook.
It was the other James. I was just waiting for it.
He was also on your bench.
It doesn't matter.
Same league.
It doesn't matter because I'm dominating.
I know.
It doesn't matter. So be quiet.
I wasn't even going to say it. You brought it up. But
No, I was waiting for it. You brought up the first one. Wide receiver stud for you. Devonta Adams. Devontae Adams. I don't know why I went Devonta.
You were thinking Devonta Smith.
Nope. Devontae Adams. He was projected 13.9. He finished with 38.3. The Rodgers Adams connection, OChem, whatever you want to call it, it was strong.
Looked back.
And he had 9 catches for 198 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That game pissed me off.
I'm sure it did. All right. Tight end stud. I guess a couple players here had higher points by a little bit, but I'm just throwing this guy out there. Titans tight end Josh Weil.
Who?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly. He was targeted only 5 times, but he caught all 5 for 37 yards and a touchdown. He was projected 2.7, and he's currently tight end 5 on the week with 12.2.
Wow.
So I'm throwing him out there. He's a stud this week.
For everybody that's always like, oh, Chig Okonkwo is the man, Josh Weil showed him up apparently. I'll talk about the duds real quick. Brock Purdy projected 19.7, finished with 3.98, and the 49ers lost to the Rams on Thursday night. You reminded me Thursday after the game. I think I said to start Purdy over Tua, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Or was it Stafford?
It was Purdy and Tua.
Because I think I remember saying like Purdy only got 3.98. Shit. And you go, well, you better hope Tua gets less than that, like as a joke, because obviously he wasn't going to. He did.
I know.
He finished with 3.84. So technically, even though both were shit choices, I chose proper.
I'm not saying I don't even want to say that you're right on this one.
Also, shout out to the dud Jameis Winston, who got me 1.64 points, but still outscored my opponent's quarterback by 3.
It was a crazy week for a quarter.
It was, because Will Levis had minus 2.44 before getting pulled. Watch both those names. They may not be starting next week. So if you're desperate in a super flex league, Dorian Robinson-Thompson for the Browns and Mason Rudolph for the Titans might be starting. For running back dud, I was going to say Najee Harris, but we expected a bad game out of him. So let's say Tyrone Tracy. I thought he'd have a good game. Projected 12.4, not Tor. 12.4. He finished with only 4 points, 31 rushing yards, a catch for 4 yards. And Devin Singletary ended up scoring the rushing touchdown. Wide receiver dud, Cooper Kupp in fantasy football playoffs. Projected 12.5. Put up a god dang goose egg. 0 zip zitch. Not a what? I don't want to talk about it. We're going to move on. Tight end dud, Travis Kelce projected 11.2 against Cleveland, who is not great against the tight end position. Finished with just 4.7. He had 4 catches for 27 yards. And even though I feel like he's kind of clawed his way back to tight end 5, I think that shows you how badly tight ends have sucked this year. He doesn't look like the same player to me. I think Travis Kelce's done for. That's just my opinion. I think he's done for. The NASCAR Gambling Podcast, Cody asking, was this the worst fantasy quarterback week ever? Well, none of you had Jared Goff or Josh Allen.
Not if you had Goff.
Yeah. Josh Allen has now put up, so in back-to-back games, the amount of points he has put up is the most by any player in back-to-back games in fantasy football in history. So that's pretty impressive. Yes, mother, Josh Allen did well against me. It's one of the reasons I'm going to lose. Even if I started the right people, I wouldn't have won. But
you're sure? You're sure about this?
Yeah. You sure about that?
You just don't want the Weasel Award.
No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have won.
No.
But yeah. Should we talk a little Sir Throws a Lot?
Yeah, let's do it.
If you have not joined us before, this is always the quarterback that threw the most, I guess. Yeah, the most amount of times.
Could have only finished with 2 points, but they threw the most.
Exactly. And I keep this segment in here because I love the intro.
This is Jim Miller, former Chicago Bears quarterback, and now it's time for Sir Throws a Lot.
So last week, it was Drew Lock, of all people, throwing for 49 times. Miranda, who's this week? Sir Throws a Lot.
This week it fits. Not like the Sir Throws a Lot, like went to a good quarterback. And that is Jared Goff. He threw for 59 times.
How dare you call him a good quarterback?
Well, for the points. We have
enough.
had a Sir Throws a Lot, and they didn't do well fantasy-wise.
That's true, yeah.
Because they weren't completing them.
Right.
But yeah, threw for 59 times in a loss against the Bills. He completed 38 of the 59. Do the math there. For 494 yards and 5 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah.
I was trying to get his percentage. I don't have that handy.
Okay. Do the math.
So I thought you could just do that for me.
Me or just somebody
You.
random in the chat?
You.
Cody, do the math. Josiah. Cody pointing out a lot of duds at quarterback. Yeah. Just killed me. In the league, in the playoffs, where I had a chance of winning because I had Devonta Adams and he had a crazy day like you talked about. But my quarterbacks were Jameis Winston and Geno Smith, who put up like a combined 5 points. Aaron Rodgers sitting on my bench with 30-something. I have let that motherfucker stay in the whole season, and he's just been so bad that I finally thought, you know what? I'm going with famous Jameis. I think he's gonna ball out, and this is what I get for doing that. So
1 point.
1 point for 1.64. Thank you very much.
1.64. Sorry, the 0.64 matters.
It does. It does matter. You already said we were going to give our Underdog Fantasy lineups out. There are 2 games tonight, which is kind of why we started early.
Yeah. Well, it just starts 15 minutes early.
I know, but it's our Bears. I got to get in game mode.
Yeah, it's going to be a late night.
Got to get the eye black going, get the whiskey ready.
You've never gotten eye black going for a game.
I'm just saying, I got to get ready. I got to get jacked and pumped and ready because we are going to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Fuck those guys. I'm going to let you lead.
Except Addison is going to have a good game.
I'll accept that. I will accept that for some bets that I've made. Yeah, I'll accept Addison having a good game. We still win, though.
We win.
Yeah.
Cole Kmet has 3 touchdowns.
Woo, 3.
I need 3.
You're going to like my first touchdown. Spoiler alert. I'll let you start.
Okay.
Why don't you kick it off?
All right. For the Vikings-Bears game, I took Aaron Jones higher than 66.5 rushing yards. The Bears are 31st in the league in yards allowed to running backs. I took DJ Moore higher than 57.5 receiving yards. He had 106 yards against the Bears.
Against the Vikings.
Against the Vikings. Thank you. 3 weeks ago, and he has been targeted a combined 24 times in the past 2 weeks. TJ Hawkinson, higher than 41.5 receiving yards. We saw that George Kittle, we saw what he did to the Bears last week.
Yeah.
The Bears we're on the struggle bus trying to cover tight ends.
Yeah. Leave them gaping open.
Oh my God. Yep. Now to the Raiders-Falcons game. You just can't say that.
Sorry. Whatever.
So I'm pairing my first 3 picks with Jacoby Myers, higher than 5.5 receptions. Desmond Ridder is getting the start, but I actually think that could be a step up from Aiden O'Connell. And then Myers hit this number in 5 of the last 6 games. And then I'm taking Ray McLeod higher than 36.5 receiving yards. He's hit this in the last 3 games. And I think I was looking at all his stats and everything, and he's going to trend. He's going to keep trending that way.
I like it.
He's trending. $10 will pay you $200. And if you flex your entry and you hit all 5, you'll get $100. Hit 4 of the 5, you'll get $25.
Look at those nice even numbers. I like that.
Beautiful.
Nick pointing out no Aaron Jones passing yards. Well, I doubt Aaron Jones throws the ball at all. So I bet he
they didn't say he was starting at the QB position. Sorry.
I'm sure Nick meant the receiving yards, but
yes.
I like your approach to taking the rushing yards just because we are bad. If I'm wrong and we don't win and they're ahead, they're just going to run the clock anyways. So I like your approach. I think both are a good idea. I'll go over mine real quick. Caleb Williams, we're winning this game, and it's on the arm of Caleb Williams. 1.5 passing touchdowns higher. He's going to have like 5 of them.
3 of them have to go to Cole Kmet.
Right.
So
yeah. And TJ Moore's going to get one. Yeah.
We need to cool it because we're going to talk this up so bad, and we're going to be yelling at the TV all night, like just angry. So let's not.
The guy you said you want to win, Jordan Addison, or to do well, Jordan Addison. I got 3.5 receptions higher. That feels easy to me. Yeah, we're going to be good at limiting Justin Jefferson. We were good at limiting him last time. We were not the best at limiting Addison. Yeah, Cole Kmet, 26.5 receiving yards higher. You need 3 touchdowns. Why not pair 30 receiving yards with him? And then flipping over to the other game, Sincere McCormick, 12.5 rushing attempts higher. They have said he has earned the opportunity to be the RB1, even though Alexander Mattison is back. And I think the Raiders have to run the ball. They have to try to commit to the ground game. And then my guy, the guy you hate, Kyle Pitts, 2.5 receptions higher. He just needs 3 receptions.
We brought up Kyle Pitts on Thursday, and now he's in your thoughts again?
Yeah, it could be 3 receptions for a total of 10 yards. He just needs to catch the ball 3 times. I think he can do that. $10 pays you $185. If you would like a flex entry, all of them will pay you $92.50. And 4 of them will pay you $28.20. Let's check out the chat real quick here. No Caleb Williams rushing yards. No, I do not have that. It'll be hilarious if he throws on a trick play now for Aaron Jones. That would be funny. Kmet is a bunch of bad faces, says Nick Fortune. And then Cody saying, I need about 5 Pitts touchdowns in the league tonight. That has a chance, right? Absolutely. He's breaking the record for.
You shouldn't have started Pitts.
Receiving touchdowns.
Why are you starting him?
And also, I did see, shout out to Underdog Fantasy, tweeting about the Bears. They tweeted earlier that Roma Dunze has a chance to make history tonight. With just 23,311 yards on Monday Night Football, he would pass Jerry Rice as the NFL's all-time leading receiver. He only needs 23,000 and change yards, so could happen. I just thought it was funny that they said that. It's a big league with real rosters, Cody
I'm in
back.
Plenty of big leagues with real rosters, and Kyle Pitts isn't on any of them. So
Cody was a big advocate with me on this in the offseason for Kyle Pitts making a name for himself with Kirk Cousins coming into town. Just hasn't happened for us. Wesley saying I got knocked out of making my playoffs because of Barkley not having a good game. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I think he finished with like 9 points in a PPR league. It was rough for him. And then Serial saying, how did I get matched up against Murr in both leagues? Either you were just that good or that bad. I'm not sure.
I did notice that. I did get matched up.
And did you beat him?
In one. I think I've locked it in one of them.
Split the series?
Yeah. I mean, tonight's game, it's done for me.
It's done for you.
I wasn't in the playoffs though. We were in the low brackets. I still tried. You and Serial. I was like, careful now, because in the Keeper's Heart Bowl, it looks like I'm going to notch a victory, and I believe I will go on to play Bryce. At which point I hope to beat Bryce and go on to play the winner of the other side of that, Mr. Rod Villagomez of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Told him that I hope we meet in the final and that I crush him. Because it's win-win. Because then I can use that as like, hey, I won our listener league. What's up? You should tune in to us because I win our listener leagues. And it's win-win for him because I'm not going to take the whiskey. I'm giving it to second place if I win. I want Rod to win. I'm not doing this.
You don't want to hear it.
I'm not hearing it. No.
Oh, come on.
100% rooting for Rod.
How dare you?
Sorry.
How dare you?
You should have kept your mouth shut, and maybe I would have had some
It's all right.
Support for you.
And Cody's saying he thinks he's obligated to root for Rod. I think not.
I think you are. I think we should all root for Rod. Everybody.
Well, first I got to make the finals, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. And Rod has to make the finals, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
All right.
I'll still root for. I can't just bias myself. I don't know who else is in that. I haven't checked. 1 second.
I believe it's the Sports Nonsense Whiskey guys.
See, I can't root against our listeners.
And Bryce Gaskin.
We'll see who gets there, and then I'll root for whoever is against you if you get there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
not spending a year listening to you.
But like I said, we can't get ahead of ourselves. But if you would like to get ahead, you can do that with MyBookie. We're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. SGPN started out with MyBookie, and now we are back. Check out the new and improved website. Great on mobile, plus props for every game. And they got the live dealer casino, even with new early cash out options. Go take the Bears on the money line over there. Just head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. Let's put it on 34 for Walter Payton. Let's go. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Have you ever wanted to create your own sports betting model for football? Do you even know what a sports betting model is? SGPN's proud partner, Rhythm, is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. Build your own model, copy one of the top-performing models for the leaderboard, or press build a model for me, and Rhythm gives you predictions for every game and player prop, and also they got a myriad of stats, research, and trends analysis to give you even more betting insights. Just claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Almost, Miranda. Almost. I almost did it in one breath. I don't know if you caught that. Right at the end there, I had to take a breath because I was dying.
You look like you're about to die. Your eyes are watering.
Are they?
Yes.
Maybe it's my hot toddy. I made myself a hot toddy. Got a little bit of a cough, a little tickle in the throat today. Probably just spent a little bit too much time in that cold wind yesterday, but unlike a real man who will sit under covers and cry about it, I just decided to get some good old whiskey. Should we go over briefly, touch on the waivers of who may be available that could help people out? There's, like we said, there's not a lot of them.
No, and half of you don't care because you didn't make it. So
over half don't give a shit. Oh no. Because you didn't make it. I would like to think that all of our listeners
made it
because they listened to us. They
That's
got
true.
Good advice, and
you're right. 100% of our listeners are in the playoffs.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna put that in our marketing.
I wasn't thinking about
of our listeners
them listening to us, like listening to our advice, but
well, that's going right in our marketing. 100% of our listeners made the playoffs and advanced. Don't check us on that, but
all right. So just looking at what's out there, and if you're in the playoffs, you have something happen, you're looking for an emergency backup. So just looking at, Nick Chubb being injured, running back Jerome Ford for the Cleveland Browns will become their RB1 again. So that's something to keep an eye on. If Alvin Kamara misses time, we've got Kendre Miller and Jamal Williams. They're going to...
Hey, your guy.
I know, but he just, after leaving the Lions, he just went downhill for fantasy.
Well, maybe now he'll be uphill.
Maybe. But yeah, Kendre Miller and Jamal Williams, they're going to get extra touches from Kamara missing time if he misses. And then if you desperately need a quarterback, Carson Wentz is going to fill in if Patrick Mahomes ends up missing time.
True.
Due to that ankle injury. We've also got Sam Howell, former Commander. He's going to
the Commanders. Sorry, just stealing Colby's line there.
I know. He's going to start for the Seahawks if Geno misses time with his knee injury.
Yeah. Besides that, I don't know who is going to be available in your league.
No. It's just that time of year where it's kind of hard to bring you. We can't bring you multiple waivers for every position right now.
Yeah, no, if a top running back goes down, with Nick Chubb is not a top running back.
No.
But if a top running back were to go down, maybe we could give you something. But at this time of year, I mean, we haven't seen a lot of big injuries this year, which is good. But we just haven't seen them.
I mean, there are injuries out there.
Not a lot of huge ones, though, that I feel like, go pick up the backup because they can replace him right away.
Well, at this time, because the backup, it's already done.
Yeah. And I guess, to that sense, the backups that are good enough, like Zach Charbonnet for Kenneth Walker, he's rostered in most leagues already because people know, like, if Kenneth Walker goes down, Zach Charbonnet can replace him. Speaking of, I know we were just talking about all the listeners made the playoffs before the games. Gary, part of IDP Plus, Gary reached out and asked me who to start between. I can't remember who the other tight end was. It was Gesicki or Pat Freiermuth. I told him to start Freiermuth, and he just messaged me. Needed that tight end play to work out. Great advice. So thank you, Gary, for asking the advice. And I'm glad I answered correctly. Anyways, let's shout out to the chat. Hunter, the Bears fan here, saying smash Caleb's rushing yards tonight over 24.5. We're winning. I mean, he's going to throw 5 touchdowns. I already called that. He might as well get some.
You're going to jinx us. I don't like this optimism. I mean, I love optimism and positivity, but when it comes to the Bears, you go in with it and you're just going to get crushed.
We're officially
it's
eliminated.
It's going to hurt you. You're going to be crying by the time the game is over.
I'm thinking since we're officially eliminated from the playoffs, now is when we'll win games.
I guess there's that. When it doesn't matter, we've got it.
Actually help us because we would get a better draft spot, but now is when we'll win. I just have a feeling. Dylan checking in. Yo, am I late? You're right on time whenever. I mean, we're rolling along. Cousins or Stafford for the playoffs, and I hope Kamara plays. Need him this week for the playoffs. I mean, he's got that groin abductor that we talked about.
Abductor. Can we just not say abductor with that anymore?
I didn't say it first. The Saints ESPN reporter said abductor, the groin abductor. I think you got to go Stafford here, don't you? Instead of Cousins. Cousins hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in, I believe, the last 4 weeks. And
that's painful.
Yeah, Stafford, he's got Puka, he's got Cooper Kupp, who he didn't throw to at all. But I think you got to go Stafford. They're really playing to make these playoffs, and I think they are going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to win that division. I wrote an article before that Rams 49ers game, wrote it the day before saying to take them now to win the division because I thought they were going to. It was plus 180 at the time, and I just think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, they have a couple tough games coming up here. I'm looking.
Who do they play?
Stafford did he not have a touchdown list?
He might not have. No. Who do they play next?
The Jets.
And Sauce Gardner might be out for that, so that'll be interesting. Cousins just hasn't been doing it. I mean, 4 weeks in a row without a touchdown. You can talk about maybe having some positive regression, but I like Stafford better.
Yeah, and he's usually a touchdown machine.
Yeah. Cyril saying at least Murr will have more wins against me than Justin. That's fair. Groin abductor sounds like a super villain.
Can we stop it? It is not abductor. It's a doctor.
I didn't tweet it out.
Well, you're starting something
ESPN
here.
analyst tweeted it out. Okay,
let's get our injuries right here.
And Fortune hoping for some great football while making Christmas cookies with the wife tonight. How sweet. How sweet. We're not making Christmas cookies tonight.
We're not making Christmas cookies at all. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
For anybody
but
who's
hopefully
wondering.
we're making some money. Should we talk a little best bets?
Sure.
I think we should. A little more games. So we'll throw out a couple more bets than usual, especially first touchdowns. We're going to pick in each game. I'm going to let you kick it off if you don't mind.
All right. So my Monday night longest reception bet for the Bears-Vikings game is Jordan Addison. Not just because I need him to have it.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
You're trying to will it?
Well, yeah, there's that too. But he had a big one against us 2 weeks ago. And him and Sam Darnold have really been on the same page lately. Their OChem is doing great. So I've got Jordan Addison, longest reception over 24.5 yards, and this is at minus 125. I
need to find a program that will listen to a pod and pull out where certain words are and mark them for me so that I can make a whole video of you talking about OChem between different people and see
OChem,
how many times you talk
we
about
could have
OChem.
an OChem reel.
Yes, yes.
It's a thing.
They got that OChem.
So for the other game, I'm gonna go with Ray McLeod. Goodness. Over 17.5 yards. This is at -115. He's had a catch over 18 yards in the last 4 games in a row. Like I said, he's short. Trending. He's I like where he's going with things. So I'm gonna stick to the trend, taking him at that.
Yeah. I like that. 17.5 seems short for him, especially like you said, last 4 games. I like that. I did the same game parlay, combining the 2 games with alt lines. I like these silly little things. So listen closely. Here it goes. Aaron Jones, 40+ rushing yards. I don't even mind bumping that up to 50. DJ Moore, 50+ receiving yards. Jordan Addison, 25+ receiving yards. Caleb Williams, 1+ passing touchdown. I mean, he's throwing 5. Then going to the next game, Sincere McCormick, 25 rushing yards. Bijan Robinson, 50 rush yards. Drake London, 40 receiving yards. Brock Bowers, 25 receiving yards. Jacoby Myers, 4 receptions. Yes, there's more. And then Mooney and Ray just to have 2+ receptions. That's plus 738.
That's a big parlay.
It is. I like it, though. I mean, with those alt lines, that's much lower than most of their over-unders are. So I like it a lot. Plus 738. However, if your balls are the size of mine, you're also adding Aaron Jones and Bijan Robinson anytime touchdown. That's plus 1,896, almost 19 to 1. I mean, why not us? Why not us? We're gonna hit this. Don't worry. Are you okay?
Yeah, you've got some big energy tonight, Justin.
You're off the rails right now. Mooney, 10+ yards first quarter, says Serial. I like that one.
I like it.
And Tyler Algier, anytime touchdown. I like that as well. Should we talk about our first touchdown? Speaking of touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'll let you kick it off again.
All right.
I'm a gentleman.
Bears, Vikings. So we've done these a little bit different where we're giving like who the first touchdown would be for whichever team scores. So I'm going to say Aaron Jones is at plus 500 for the Vikings, and then Swift at plus 800 for the Bears. And then for,
chalk,
I know, sometimes the chalk works.
It has been working for you. I will give you that.
So then I'm going to take for the Falcons and Raiders. So he did it last game. Why not this game? Tyler Algier, first touchdown. You'll hit that anytime touchdown too.
Yeah.
This is at plus 1100. And then for the Raiders, let's go Jacoby Myers, and that's at plus 1200.
I like it. I like that, Tyler. That's sneaky. And I'm sure Serial agrees as well. Who's your Super Bowl pick? Before we get to my first touchdowns, Dylan's asking, who's your Super Bowl pick now that the powerhouses played each other this Sunday? Mine has gone crazy. I mean, I was so set on it being a Detroit, Kansas City Super Bowl, but I've completely changed on both. Completely changed on both. Do you have a pick? Do you think you were with the Chiefs, right?
Yes, and I wanted the Lions. I wanted to see the Lions like go.
Okay.
Just go ahead. I feel like you want to say something.
Josh Allen, who's having the MVP season, in my opinion,
deserves to get there.
He has beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. He has beat the Lions. The Bills are going to the Super Bowl. This is their year, finally. Not all of us, but I definitely thought they were going to take a step back. They lost Stephon Diggs. They lost some of the receivers, and it was like, who's going to step up for them? They haven't taken a step back at all. And you know who they're going to play? Motherfucking Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
This is a whole change.
Dog. Okay. I expected them to lose to the Chargers. The Chargers have played very good defense. He smoked them. He made them look like fools with Mike Evans. He's beat the Lions. Baker Mayfield is going to play in the Super Bowl against Josh Allen. They're going to be just these amazing dudes that are just fun to watch play. And it's going to be one of the best Super Bowls we've seen in several years.
Okay.
Book it. You let me know.
You have serious opinions. I haven't still processing for
still processing, are you?
No, because I was really rooting for the Lions to get there, but I I just don't know with the injury to David Montgomery. I don't know how this is gonna.
Yeah,
because their offense has been just on fire, and we haven't seen any injuries to their offense, or you know what I mean.
Right.
They've been consistent, and now this is gonna.
I will tell you. I know you don't pay attention to the defensive players.
Mm-hmm.
They lost a cornerback in this game for the season, and either a linebacker or a lineman. I don't remember this last game. I think that makes 15 or 16 defensive players that they now have on injured reserve. That's hard to bounce back from.
That is
so hard. Serial saying Bucks lose this weekend against his Cowboys. I don't know about that. Cowboys got to win against the Panthers, so kudos to them. I actually think it's
against the Panthers.
I know.
Okay, continue. Sorry, that wasn't a.
Wow, Serial, you heard that right? It was just the Panthers.
Well, I'm glad that they won.
I actually think the Bills lose this weekend to the Patriots. You're welcome, Cody. The Patriots are 14-point dogs. I would be all over that against the spread. But we've seen when teams play the Lions the next game, it's tough for them. And I think they drop that game. Nick's going to tail me. He's going to take Bucks and Bills.
I mean, you really sold us on that.
It's happening. So can we circle back to Pittman over CD Lamb pick by J Mark? No, we can't. It's dead in the water, but we can circle back to my first touchdown bets, which for the Bears Vikings game, your guy that you need to do well, Jordan Addison, 7-1 for the Vikings. And for the Bears, the other guy you need, Cole Kmet, 22-1. I like both of them.
Okay. I mean, I would be happy. I mean, I definitely need both of these guys to be scoring tonight.
Yeah, that's my first touchdowns for each team there. Falcons Raiders. I had a little trouble with this one. I wanted to take Bijan, but it was so chalky I couldn't do it. So Drake London, 6-1. I think he gets involved early on, and Kirk Cousins does throw a touchdown pass. For the Raiders, let's do a little bit of a bigger one here. I like Trey Tucker at 26-1. Now, when I was looking at these, there was no price on Desmond Ridder. I kind of like Desmond Ridder, sprinkle a little bit on him for first touchdown too. But my official pick's Trey Tucker, 26-1. Sprinkle a little on. Just a little on Desmond Ridder. Serial also liking Keenan Allen first touchdown. I think he had 2 against the Vikings when they played a few weeks ago. Do not jinx my Bills. I just think they're going to lose next week. That's all. I can't help but notice that my mom has jumped from being a Bears fan to a Bills fan.
Bills.
So
her Bills.
We can still take some Christmas gifts back, right?
I was just talking about how I'm rooting for the Lions over here. I think that's worse.
I already took some of yours back. While you were sitting here talking, I was on old Amazon here getting my return ready. Do you have anything else you want to add before we get everybody out of here and get ready for this Bears game? Get our eye paint ready?
We're not getting. Why? You better do eye paint then.
You better do it. I have nothing to do eye paint with.
I know.
Plot twist here. Do you have anything you'd like to add before we get everybody out of here?
No. Let's have some football tonight.
Let's have some football. Don't forget Whiskey Wednesday. We're going to be making cocktails.
We'll get on the same page before Wednesday about how many cocktails and which cocktails, since apparently you have your own list.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with your list, and then I'll add some if I want to. How about that?
We don't need to drink like 500 cocktails on the show.
No, 5. 5 is way different from 500. This is why I asked if you understood a million earlier when you said a million thoughts were in your head.
Well, I said I have 4 recipes, and you said, well, I have 5. And you just said, we'll go with yours, and then I'll add some. That's more than 5.
I'll add 1 then. How about that?
So we'll see.
We're going to have to debate who's making these too, you know.
Well, if they're my recipes, I'm making them so they're done.
Well, you know, sometimes you play up until the buzzer beater here, so we're just gonna have to figure it out
until the buzzer beater.
Yeah, you play to the whistle, baby. No chem questions tonight from Josiah. He's finally done with semester 1.
That's a good feeling.
Awesome. So Quincy Davis says start 1 McCormick or Mooney. We haven't quite broken down next week yet. We'll do that on Wednesday. So everybody bring your start sit questions Wednesday.
But let's answer this.
Yeah, we'll no, absolutely.
Okay. I thought you were like, sorry.
So we're not answering your question. No, I'm just kidding. McCormick or Mooney, which one are you going to look up first?
I'm pulling Mooney.
All right, I'm going to pull up McCormick too, just so I can know, I don't even know who the Chargers play off the top of my head. I don't know why I said, McCormick or McConkey? I'm going to assume
He said-
McConkey.
But he said McCormick.
Who's McCormick?
We just
Like-
talked about McCormick.
What?
Justin.
Why can't I think? You're looking up. There's Sincere McCormick. Got it. I forget about
Jesus.
Sincere.
Didn't we just talk about him?
We
though?
did. They played Jacksonville, which does not have a great.
You're confusing me.
I know. They do not have a great run defense. I'd really like to see what he does tonight before I can answer that. Now that they've said, like, hey, he's for sure the starter. What do you got on Mooney over there? Playing the Giants?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Playing the Giants. It's a
Oh, so this is your question tonight, not next week. You're starting McCormick or Mooney tonight because they still play yet tonight. I apologize.
Oh my gosh.
We're off the rails over here.
I guess I don't think of start sits on Mondays because Monday night I just never mind.
Yeah, we're off the rails.
We are.
I apologize, Quincy.
We're not
Hopefully
we
you
don't
have
have
not-
the excuse of whiskey right now because we decided
Hopefully
we'd
you
do
have
a
not
cocktail.
shut us off
We're
yet.
like these people. I'm done with them.
Yes. Cody bringing up a good point. How many
Mhm.
points do you need? Because if you don't need a lot, I would go with McCormick. I think he's got a safer floor. But if you need a lot of points, I would go with Mooney. I think he's got a higher
I
ceiling.
do think he has the higher ceiling.
Yeah.
He's been. I feel like he's due for a touchdown.
Due for a touchdown.
He's due
Mooney.
for a touchdown.
Two guys. I need one. Oh, he's got two guys. I have one. Need a boom. I think you got to go Mooney.
Mooney's
then.
the boom of the two.
Yeah.
So if you need that,
if you want a safe play, it's McCormick. If you want the boom, it's Mooney. Cody checking in.
Mhm.
He's in like 50 leagues. He agrees. It's not just NASCAR. He's got a
And-
passion for fantasy football too.
so sorry, we are just like
Yeah, we were. Thank you for not turning us off immediately when the brains weren't turning here. The wheels had to get greased a little bit.
when you said the Chargers, and I was like, that doesn't sound right.
I know my mind just jumped to Lad McConkey because
No.
Sincere is. I mean, he literally feels like Sincere came out of nowhere. I
Mhm.
mean, just all of a sudden it was like, oh, the Raiders have Sincere McCormick that they're going to be playing. Yeah, I think if you need the boom, you got to go with Mooney. I think he's got a better opportunity for a boom. I think McCormick is a safer floor. He'll get at least, in a half PPR, he's going to get you at least 5 or 6 points, at least. But Mooney, I think, has got that opportunity of getting much better. I've seen you try to poke on the same person for 3 different times there. She's like, and it wasn't going. Are you okay over
I'm
there?
fine.
Okay.
Sometimes, like on Sleeper,
Yeah.
sometimes it'll like take you back. Like you have to hit their face.
Yes, you do. Did you have it now that you brought up Mr. Sincere McCormick?
Yeah, because I don't trust
Interesting
yours,
first name.
whatever you're talking about over there for him. Because
That's
I
fair.
pulled up Mooney's and you can't even pull up McCormick.
I
so-
did pull up McCormick. I just pulled up McConkey first.
which is not McCormick
No,
and
it's
not
not.
even the right team. Yeah, no, I still stand by us. I still have to double
Yeah.
check myself.
That's fair. That's fair.
Mhm.
Quincy, I don't recognize names. So if this is your first time visiting us, welcome. We appreciate you checking in. Wednesday, we're going to be making some Christmas cocktails with whiskey because we talk whiskey and football, but we're also going to answer any start sit questions you got then. Hopefully, if you end up going with Mooney, like we said, oh man, 150 to 149.
Oh,
That's going to be nerve wracking. And he's got 2 guys. You've got 1. I'm curious, who are the 2 guys he has, if you don't
Mhm.
mind throwing that in there. My answer is still Mooney, but I'm just out of curiosity. That's going to be a nerve wracking night.
that is. Ooh. Tonight, in 3 leagues, I'm in the playoffs. It comes down to tonight's game,
Does it?
and it's close in 3 of them. So I'm.
I don't believe I have any playoff games that will be determined tonight. They are all settled whether I won or lost. So that's that kind of sucks. I am losing in our other pirate league, the Fantasy of Thieves that Cody runs.
I don't want to talk about that league.
Well, I was actually in the playoffs and I'm getting booted out of
So
them.
was I.
Oh, were you?
Yes, thank you. I was actually in the playoffs.
You said your Pirate Leagues didn't go well.
Yeah,
for
but
you.
that one turned around.
Oh, that one.
We didn't talk about it turning around.
It got better.
It got better.
Let's see here.
No,
Oh, yeah,
don't.
I see that.
I failed myself on Njoku.
I was hoping I was going to be playing Cody next week. I
don't know how I missed that though. I don't know how I missed that. So I'm a little pissed about it.
That Njoku got ruled out.
And I didn't.
We talked about it on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I know. I missed that he was in. I have no idea how I did it.
Oh, in your lineup. I was like, he wasn't in. He was out. I got it.
Yeah.
I just realized we're going to get you out of here, I promise, because it's getting too close to the Bears game for my comfort. Got to get the eye paint going and find eye paint first.
Can you stop talking about something that's not happening?
But I leaned back and I noticed that I'm wearing my bluey shirt. Super cool on my Whiskey Fantasy Football podcast.
Hey, you're you are always in support of our niece.
Yes. I am. I mean, the show is pretty funny. Like as far as kid shows go, it's one of the better ones. But yes, I wear the bluey for the niece. She's a big fan, and this one says "What up, party people?" And yeah, so
it's one of her favorite shirts.
It is one of her favorites. Did you wear that for me? She asks, and of course I did. Well, I'm not wearing it for me, but I can't explain.
Well,
that to
but
her.
today you're wearing it for you because she's not here.
Well. You know better than anybody that I usually just grab somebody.
I know.
He has. I grab a shirt. He has Hawkinson and Sam Darnold. Oh, that's going to be a tough matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that our Bears shut them down.
Yes.
For you.
Except, yeah.
No, except. I hope there's negative points for Sam Darnold before he gets booted out of the game.
Maybe
due to an injury or something.
He could throw a few touchdowns to Addison and then get a bunch of interceptions or something.
He's gonna not a serious injury. He's just gonna have a tweak where he has to leave the game after throwing a couple interceptions, and then the backup is gonna come in and throw him to Jordan Addison. Okay. So then there's no points.
You worked out a situation.
Quincy. Yes, and then Hawkinson will fall flat. You'll eat your Underdog Fantasy entry. That's fine. You don't mind because it's for Quincy.
Yeah.
So yeah, good luck to you.
Yes, good luck. It's a nerve-wracking night for a lot of us.
Yes. That one's going to be, so you're going to know what Hawkinson and Sam Darnold finish with likely before Mooney finishes the game. So you're going to be sitting there just like, come on, Mooney, get me a big touchdown right now. So good luck to you. I hope it works out. We'll be back Wednesday for start sits and some cocktails for the holiday season. Miranda, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Wesley says, let's go Buffalo. They're playing in the Super Bowl against the Bucs. That's my prediction. Go book it now. Going once, going twice.
Sold.